guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to read an article titled Best Man Claims He Mentioned Divorce in Wedding Toast Because of Bride's Nonsense. And guys, this is a really funny article that recaps a story that's been spreading like wildfire on Reddit about this guy, this best man, who at his best friend's wedding gave a speech, and basically, because of the never-ending BS that the bride was giving him and his wife, and just these ridiculous demands and treating him like crap and all that, he finally lost it. And he definitely said some things in the speech that just made her crazy and has been spreading like wildfire. And you're going to see here, guys, these demands she makes of him and the way she treats him. Believe me, I think a lot of you guys never would have tolerated it to begin with, but this guy, obviously, he did it initially because he thought, I'm doing this for my best friend who's getting married. But real quickly, guys, you're going to see that the best friend of this guy, this groom, isn't exactly acting like a best friend. He's not acting like a bro. And in my opinion, you stick with your bros, you have their back. But when they disrespect you, or they allow, for instance, in this situation, their girlfriend or wife to disrespect you, and then the ball game changes, okay? Because you shouldn't take shit from anybody, okay? At all, no disrespect. And this guy, this guy who's getting married, the best friend, he allows his wife, or soon-to-be wife, to treat his best friend like this, right? And so, wait to see what goes down here, and I'll let you guys I'll let you guys see what you guys have to say about what he does and your opinion on the subject. I'll let you know my opinion at the end. So it starts off. Last week, one group of wedding guests heard a toast they'd certainly never forget. One man recently caught Reddit's attention after confessing that he mentioned divorce in a wedding toast for his best friend. According to him, the bride's demands for him and his wife caused him to feel annoyed before the wedding, but a comment made by the mother of the bride was the final straw. Still, he wanted to know, was he in the wrong for insulting the bride in his speech as the best man? Well, you're going to see all these things she does, and you may have no problem with this. It says, the anonymous best man posted the story in the Reddit forum, Am I the A-hole, under a certain name, on Wednesday. In his post, he asked Redditors, Am I the A-hole for telling the truth in the wedding toast? Before discussing his toast, he detailed the events that led him to rewrite his speech. Now listen to all this, all the crap he gets from the bride, his so-called best friend, and the bride's mother. According to the best man, he and his wife recently purchased a home and are also expecting their son in November. So money for his best friend's wedding was tight. Wanting to do whatever he could, he explained that he attended the bachelor party, rented a tux, paid for his and his wife's food at the rehearsal dinner, and set aside $300 cash as a wedding gift. He hoped this would be enough of a contribution, but allegedly the bride was asking for much more. Okay, in my opinion, he's definitely done his job as a best man, with the bachelor party, the tux, $300 cash as a gift, taking care of the food and all that. What's the problem? Well, you're going to see. In the post, he listed out a series of demands the bride sent to him in the weeks leading up to the wedding. He alleges that, per the bride, his wife was not allowed, and he wrote that in giant letters, not allowed to talk about the pregnancy, as she didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride. There are so many wacko brides out there that, in their opinion, because they have been appeased by their family members and appeased by their soon-to-be husband, they think the whole world revolves around that day, and they treat people like absolute dirt, okay? It is a load of crap, okay? I mean, my sister got married, a long time ago, and she was a little worked up, I'll say, but anything like what you might hear about in some of these stories. She also demanded that his wife wear a dress that downplayed a pregnancy and to ask his wife not to make a pregnancy scene at the wedding, among other things. So, wear a dress that obviously isn't so obvious that she's pregnant, because God forbid people will look at her and talk to her about the upcoming baby as opposed to giving her all the attention. Well, you all know about I talk about attention and validation all the time, but especially on the big day. I've heard stories where the bride will deliberately pick out dresses for the bridesmaids that look absolutely hideous so that they look like crap and all the attention's on the bride. I've been to some weddings where, although I didn't know officially that's what was done, I was pretty sure, and it was being whispered like holy shit, look at that. You know what I mean? It goes on. In addition to all the demands the bride made of his wife, he alleges that the bride told him he wasn't doing enough as a best man, and that if he was a true best man, he'd offer to pay the bar bill. Oh, hell no. Pay the bar bill? That can get pretty darn high depending on how much of a guest list you have, especially if it's more than just beer and wine, which I'm going to guess it is. I've never heard of the best man paying the bar bill, but listen to this crap. At one point is this guy's best friend, the dude that's marrying this crazy chick, stepping in and saying, hey, this is my best friend. We've been friends for a long time. You don't talk to him this way. Nope. You don't hear any of that. And that's when this guy, at this point, if this was me, I'd be like, look, dude, you're my best friend. I want the best for you, but she is disrespecting me. Not cool. If this shit continues, I'm out. End of story. But he's not. And I get that he's trying to stay loyal to his friend, but you gotta stay loyal to yourself. And she's also disrespecting his wife. Not cool. Goes on. Also, he said she needed final approval of his speech before the rehearsal dinner. A speech that was not allowed to include inside jokes or stories about the groom that did not include the bride. Control freak. Can you imagine this dude is going to be married to her, what she's going to be like as a wife? Oh my God. But you know what? The fact that, again, the best friend, the dude that's getting married, is not standing up for his brother, his best man, the way she's treating him, he deserves this. You know it's not going to go well, and you know it's not going to end well, which leads to the speeches you're going to see. Annoyed, he said he approached his best friend to reason with his bride. In response, his best friend argued, now listen to this, that it was his soon-to-be wife's day and just to capitulate to her demands. After all, he said, it would be him that had to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. Do you hear that? This guy already knows. She's going to boss him around, treat him like crap, her way or the highway. This guy's obviously a weak bitch, and this is who he's marrying. And right there, to capitulate her demands. Why do you think she acts the way she does? Because that's what people do, okay? That's how people end up acting this way, because other people just they don't want to deal with them. They don't want the conflict, the drama, so they don't draw the line in the sand and call them on their BS, right? And so, to no surprise, she married a guy that's going to, and you think, honestly, and I guarantee you, I don't know what she looks like. I have no idea here, but this guy obviously is her guy she settles down with, right? Because believe me, if she perceived him as a true masculine guy, a prize, a true alpha, she wouldn't be treating him like this. Mark my words, because she would respect him. She may test his boundaries, as all women do, but not like this, and certainly not treating his bro like this. No way. So this guy's marriage to her is going to be a living hell. So, anyhow, but while this calmed the best man down, he said the final straw came on the wedding day when he was getting a drink at the bar after a long day of being berated by the bride and groom. The mother of the bride told him not to get drunk as he'd already ruined the day. What did he do to ruin the day? God forbid his wife wore a dress that they didn't approve of, or some other nonsense, or he wasn't paying the bar bill. Why isn't the mother of the bride paying the bar bill? Or why isn't the groom's, if I'm not mistaken, now the groom's family usually takes care of the rehearsal dinner or something, but somebody else is paying the bar bill. It certainly isn't the best man, unless there's a tradition out there that I don't know about. And she's giving him a hard time? Oh, hell no. And again, back to the thing, being berated by the wife and his best friend. Not cool. He says, angry, he gave a toast not approved by the bride, in which he said, now listen to this. As giving the toast, I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished him the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce. He also didn't give his best friend their cash gift. So in his speech, he mentioned the whole thing about the guy saying about he's going to have to put up with her nonsense the rest of his life. And then mentioned, I'll be there for him always, especially during the divorce. Ooh. Now the question is, do you guys think that he's gone too far by saying I'll be with him to the divorce, or not? I got no problem. It's not what I would do, because I wouldn't let people. First of all, if it was me, it wouldn't have gotten that far at all, because the second she was being disrespectful, well, first of all, let's go back way far. If I was a best friend of this guy, I'd tell him don't marry this chick. I would tell for many, many reasons, but anyhow, let's just say he was doing it anyway. If she was treating me with disrespect, and he wasn't standing up for me, that's it. I'm out of here. And it wouldn't have gotten that far. But with regards to speech, I would have mentioned that the old "I'll be with you" during the divorce, but I would certainly be poking fun at her in the speech after all that bullshit. You bet your ass. And mentioning about him trying to deal with her nonsense. But she deserves it. It's not what I would do, but she certainly deserves it, and I think it's funny as hell. It goes on. So he wanted to know, was he in the wrong for doing this? Many Redditors debated, but thousands agreed with one user whose argument was simple. Everyone sucks here. This guy is quoted as saying, "Look, dude, you were totally justified, but you also had ample opportunity to jump off the crazy train before it got this far." That's what I've been saying all along. This guy, he could have, stood his ground, but hey, you never know. He was young. I'm guessing he's probably young and just, doesn't have the life experience or know to draw the line in the stand up for yourself. Who knows? But his best friend, the dude get married, he should be standing up to the wife and defending his bro. Bros before, you all know that. This guy goes on saying, being a good friend means having the comfortability and latitude to say no when your friends are off the rails. You wait until the last minute and let your emotions get the better of you. That's what I was saying. Your wife deserves better from these people and from you in this moment. More than 23,000 people liked the comment in agreement. Newsweek was unable to independently verify the claims made on the Reddit post. This man's story isn't the first Bridezilla tale to make rounds on Reddit recently. Last month, a Redditor claimed that one bride demanded that neighbors not camp in a public use area the weekend of her wedding. And last week, one Redditor shared that a bride demanded her bridesmaids lose weight and not get pregnant before her wedding. Well, that's interesting because a lot of times these crazy brides, they want the bridesmaids to look like crap, so then that way she looks even better. I've been like I said, been to weddings where you could just tell by the outfits they had these girls in that just something was up there. But anyhow, guys, funny story that I read there, and let me know in the comment sections. Do you think that dude went too far mentioning, hey, I'll be there with you for the divorce and the thing? I mean, it's funny, and it's certainly the mother of the bride and the dude getting married, the groom, had some karma coming their way because they were all acting like jackasses. But for me, I wouldn't have said that whole part, but I would have certainly made fun of him. I certainly would have poked fun and said things to get a rise out of the bride because she's a complete jackass. But let me tell you, after all this, I'd be cutting my ties with that dude until he literally came back and gave me a serious apology and said, look, dude, I'm sorry how I acted. I shouldn't have let her treat you that way because you're my best friend. And that's it. It's not going to happen again. But until I get that, I would distance myself from that guy. No way. Life is too short. It is better to be alone, guys, and in your own company all the time than to have half-ass friends that disrespect you or test your boundaries or let others in their lives, like their wife or girlfriend, treat you in that way, okay? The bros got to come first. As you all know, bros before you know what. So anyhow, guys, let me know in the comments section what you think about this. So that is it for today. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.